Hi, I'm Lord Tony, and today we're going to be hacking the crap out of Mega Man Battle Network 3. So, Mega Man Battle Network 3 is a great game, but it has a few problems. Namely, it has two versions, blue and white, and if you want to 100% this game, you're going to have to get a friend in order to trade you the Mist Man chip. And then I think there's even some chips that you actually have to battle with in order to unlock them. You have to battle with a friend online. And if you're anything like me, you don't have any friends at all, much less any friends that have Mega Man Battle Network 3 or a link cable as it gets, maybe 20 something years after this game's released. Yeah, 2002. Good luck finding somebody who has the other version of this game to trade with. So if you want to 100% this game, you're gonna have to give yourself the Mistman chips. Now you could download a save file from online, but then it kind of overwrites your file. Or you can use GameShark, but that makes you a pleb and a script kiddie. And normies use GameShark, so that's cringe. Let's actually hack this game. So I've tried to make this video maybe 5 times now, and every time it takes way too long. So I think I'm just gonna make a little series here. And we're going to go over not just Mega Man Battle Network 3 hacking, but just kind of hacking Game Boy games in general, or Game Boy Advance games in general, and then even, other video games, because you can do the same sort of thing with Cheat Engine. So let's just crank up the game. Let's get into a place where I am right now in the game. And let me just show you how we're gonna go about hacking this game. So let's do some low-hanging fruit first. So right here we see in our menu we got some Zenny and we got some bug frags. So what GameShark does, if you've never messed with it before, and what we're going to be doing without GameShark, instead we're going to be using the MGBA's built-in memory searcher, this search memory command. We're going to be checking the entirety of the memory of this game, and we're going to be trying to find where these addresses live. Because if we can just change those, then save the game, we've basically just given ourselves, more money and more bug frags. So you could, kill Gutsman Beta like a million times in order to get the bug frags you need to unlock chips, or you could give them to yourself. Either way, you're wasting your own time, and maybe I shouldn't say that. I killed Gutsman like 100 times, but you can get way more bug frags this way. So let's. This is how you use the memory searcher. So in memory, this thing's got to be there. It'll be in hexadecimal or something. But maybe if they were crazy, they might save 1/10 of this number in memory and then multiply it by 10 every time they display it to you or every time they do math on it. But chances are this number appears as is in memory. So all you gotta do to search for it is just type that number in, and I'm not even gonna try to guess what kind of byteage it is, but we're just gonna say search the memory for every value that's equal to that. And we're going to start a new search. Okay, look at that. That's incredibly simple. There turns out to be only one memory address, and they tell you where the memory address is. This is in the 0200 block of memory in the Game Boy Advance, so that's the RAM. You can actually say to search the ROM, like the unwritable memory too, but looks like we found the memory in RAM. So let's open this in the memory viewer, and we are going to just change this value and see what happens. So it says it's 2 bytes, so I'm going to try to read this as 2 bytes. It says, this one up here, except it ends in a 4, so it's this value right here. That looks like it. So this must be the representation of that in hex. So let's just change it to instead of 0F38, how about 1F38? And that didn't seem to change it here, but I think what they did is they read that value once when we opened the menu, and then they painted it here, and now they're not just reading it every frame and repainting. Let's go into a different screen and come back out. Ah, yeah, that number's a lot bigger now. Okay, wonderful, that's working. So we could do the same thing to search for bug frags also, but I want to I want to emphasize the way you want to think about these sorts of things. Like, you could search it, but let's go ahead and try to take a guess here. If you had a global object that was saving all of the currency in memory, how would you save it? Well, I would probably save it, maybe you'd have Zenny and Bug Frags like right next to each other in memory. Maybe it would be some global currency object. Just taking a guess here, but since we're already in this spot in RAM that was loaded in, I'm just gonna take a look at these values just next to that one where the Zenny was. And I suspect that these Bug Frags are gonna be nearby. And it is right over here, maybe, one full byte over. Yeah, maybe these are saved like that. Yeah, maybe these are 4 bytes and it just never goes over that. But yeah, maybe it is just a 4-byte address that is right next to the Zenny address, is where our bug frags are at the 257. So let's go ahead and give ourselves way too many bug frags also. Yeah, let's give us a bunch of 1s there, why not? And see what that number actually turns into. 4,369 bug frags. Wonderful. That's way better than killing Gutsman over and over again. But the Zenny and bug frags in this game, that's contrived. That's an example. I don't actually care about hacking that stuff. What I care about is the obnoxious things in this game, the things this game could do better. So right now I'm going to show you one of them, and we're going to hack it by searching through memory. So here I'm in front of this little bridge thing, and I actually can't cross it. I have to install a program to cross that bridge. And this gets really frustrating in the game, because let me show you what you have to do to install the program. You got to go here in a Mega Man, you got to go into your Navi Cust menu. If you have it fully decked out, you've got to, remove this thing, make room for it, because colors of programs aren't allowed to touch each other. So yeah, that white one can't touch this one, so I had to move it out of the way. I gotta put the press command, or the press program in there. Then I have to run it. And because I'm using a green chip and I'm in a different style, I get this error, so then I have to hit select and then enter. Okay. Run complete. How you feel? Great. Quit the nav customizer? Yeah. Then you back out of this, and now you can walk through to the other side. So now let's say that's the only one you wanted to cross. Now you'd have to go back into your menu, reset all the stuff that you had, jigger with it, and then, go through the part of the game you actually want to play. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take some of these guesses on how I would program this sort of thing. And I am going to try to find the memory address that we're looking at that makes the game think we have the press command installed. So I gotta go through this all again just to set this back to 0. Which one did I even have on here? Collect? Okay, not important. Okay, so right now, we don't have press equipped, right? Did I take it off? No, I didn't hit start. Okay, I gotta take it off. You're seeing why I want to hack this part away from the game and just make it to where this thing's always installed. Error E3. Okay, yeah, wonderful. This is great fun. This should have just been like a passive thing that you don't have to install. Okay, so now, if I was going to save this in memory, it would be some kind of variable like press installed or press is installed or is pressable, and it would just be a Boolean. So it would be like 1 byte. And it would be, if you don't have press equipped, I would have it set to 0, and if you do have press equipped, I would set to 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to search for that. I'm going to search for 0, and I'm going to search for 1 byte addresses that are equal to 0. I'm going to search the entire memory. Now, I imagine 0 is probably the most common address in memory, and it absolutely is. Okay, there's tons of memory addresses set to 0. So now that we've done that, we've got a list. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to re-equip it. And if this is saved as a Boolean or something like a Boolean, what's going to happen is once we've equipped this, one of those zeros right there should be set to 1. So error, oh boy, this is, okay. How do you feel? Great. Quit the nav customizer? Yes. Okay. So now what should be here is that should be set to 1 if my theory's correct. So I'm going to search within these addresses, not create a new search, but I'm going to search within these addresses for the values that are now equal to 1. See how many of the... Okay, we get 2 values that started out at 0 in that first list and are now equal to 1. So I think we've probably got where the press is. So we've got press equipped right now. Okay, so we can go onto that bridge. But let's open this in our memory viewer. I think I gotta close this one to open a new one. And which one are they saying? It's 5, 7, 9, 8. So this guy right here, if I set this to 0, am I... Oh, I'm unable to press. Okay, so let's set it back to 1. And I am able to press. Okay, perfect. So now I want to check, to do one last little, sanity check. I want to make sure that if we remove press and put our main payload back on, our main, I guess I used collect. We should be able to... Okay, so are you watching that memory that started out as 8 there? Okay, we get our error again. We set it back, and oh, it just changed to 1. It just changed back to 0. So I'm going to change it to 1 again, and I'm just going to leave it alone. So now that we've de-equipped press, we can still walk across this. So what you want to do is you want to write that down. You want to keep track of the memory addresses that you got. So in my notes here, I say that memory address, if press can always be equipped if you set this to 1. And then that is all you need to do. So now we don't have to constantly equip and de-equip that thing. And one problem with this game is fixed. Now we could write a patch for this game, find the place in code that's always checking for press, and then just make it to where it doesn't matter anymore. Like we could go into that a little bit later. But already this video is about as long as I want it to be. So welcome to hacking the crap out of Mega Man Battle Network 3. More videos to come. Where's bloody off button? Off button.